some questions regarding trusting God with your family size. So just a quick recap of our past. When we got married, we did not have a plan to trust God with our family size. We'd never heard of that. We had a 5-year plan to wait 5 years before we started having kids. I personally didn't really want kids that much. I just wanted a career. Wants all women, not some women, not just special women, not just certain people that have it all together. I believe God wants all women to trust Him with their will. No medication. This is all pain-free, completely pain-free, by faith in Yahuwah, believing that He can take your pain and that we were created. So a few days ago, I posted a video. I was in the hallway of our house and I was playing with my 10-month-old baby. We were like having him walk back.
Think about a woman who said online she never wanted kids. She built her whole online presence on the opposite idea. She made her Texas home a place where religion, babies, and being famous all came together in a strange way. This is the story of Karissa Collins, a mother of 11 who calls herself a prophetess and who used her pregnancies for online content. Get ready, because this story goes from not wanting any kids to having 15 pregnancies, from rejecting normal schooling to exploiting her own children for content, even when they were hitting her pregnant belly. This story is absolutely crazy.
To the Lord and saying, I went off birth control and we said, okay, whatever you want to do, you can do.
Karissa grew up in a very different world from the one she shows online now. She was raised in a strict Christian family with one sister and a simpler life. She had no plan to be a mother. She said herself she never longed to be a mother. She planned out her career for 5 years and used birth control. She admits she was the last person anyone expected to lead the quiverful religious movement on TikTok.
Children are a blessing and a gift, and that God is who He says He is, that the Bible is true, and we cannot find anywhere in the Bible that gives us permission to choose to prevent, sterilize, or abort.
Then she met Karissa Collins. He became her husband, her partner in mission work, and maybe the quietest co-star in social media history. They got married on a Wednesday in May 2007. They were both 23 on the 23rd and served 23 flavors of ice cream and Dr. Pepper. It seemed their wedding had to have a number theme. Their wedding Bible verse was Psalm 23. The meaning was strong. What was coming next was even stronger. For the first 2 years, their life looked normal. Karissa and Mondre settled into married life, just like any couple at a church event. But then something changed. A church talk, a strong belief, a divine message that completely changed their life path. Karissa said they decided to let God decide how many kids they would have. What happened next was not slow growth, but a huge number of pregnancies.
To tithe and all of that. So we went to a sermon where this amazing pastor, I'm still friends with him, he did a sermon on trusting God. What are we called to trust God with, and are we trusting God? Now, it was not about trusting God with your family size. Now, this pastor did have, I think, 7 or 8 children at the time, but he never preached about it or talked about it or even said that it was like something that you needed to believe. But he was actually the one that was doing this sermon, and I sat through that sermon and I thought, what do we not trust God in? What do we not trust God in? What do we not trust God in? I thought of all the things we trust God in. And the only thing, literally the only thing that we decided we knew best, the only thing that we were like, we're going to do this, was trusting God with our family size, when to have children, and what time. So at this point, I had been on birth control, I believe, for 1 year.
Their first child, Anisabeth, was born on December 2009. This was the start of a family that would grow to 11 children. Over the next 15 years, the Collins family grew so fast it made the famous Duggar family seem slow. From 2011 to 2024, there were 11 kids, all having names that started with the letter A. But this is where the story changes from big religious family to internet star. Karissa Collins didn't just have children, she used them for content. She made pregnancy news into dramatic cliffhangers.
We're doing a video selfie. Please smile. Ready? Say cheese. Say mommy's pregnant.
Baby mama, we got the baby mama.
She turned births at home into live shows. She made her children's accidents, sicknesses, and growth into videos that got millions of views. The boundary between sharing her faith and making money completely disappeared. The internet noticed her in 2017. The Collins family started their YouTube channel that year, sharing videos that looked like simple daily life with their many kids. But the videos were not just family videos. They were religious performances. Every video had a hidden message. See our faith. See how many children we have. See what God does when you give yourself completely. The internet's viewing system, which likes drama, started showing her to people far outside the small Christian homeschooling groups she was a part of.
I homeschool, so of course my kids are awkward and unsocialized. Listen to me. You have a much higher chance of dying on birth control with an IUD or with any method of sterilization that women do to their body, tying your tubes.
By 2020, Karissa moved to TikTok. The fast, highly engaging format was perfect for her type of religious performance. She did not need fancy editing or a written script. She just needed a phone, a ring light, and the firm belief that her life was a message worth sharing live. The views grew fast. The comment section became a war zone. The Collins family name started appearing in places that did not know about her religion, places like r/Snark Uncensored, where people began tracking every post she made with great detail.
Then I got sick, then I was diagnosed, and I just kept hearing the Holy Spirit saying, I got you. Like, trust me. I know your health. I know your situation. Trust me. Like, I am caring for you through the pregnancies. I have you.
So this is where the empire stood. Millions of views, a growing army of critics, and a family that kept getting bigger on schedule. But the views were never the scary part of this story. The scary part is what Karissa believes, and what those beliefs mean when real medical danger shows up. Because in this house, the rules are not written by doctors. They're written by whatever Karissa says God told her.
To what God has called me to do, and I cannot take this birth control anymore.
Karissa is not just a religious mom posting Bible verses. Karissa calls herself a prophetess. She says God speaks to her directly through dreams and through what she calls words from the Holy Spirit. The family does not attend a regular church. They pastor their own home church, with the living room as the sanctuary. There's no outside pastor, no elders, no one above them who could ever say, maybe this is going too far. And that belief system touches everything.
Say so we were just reading in our home church on this Friday, so it's so crazy. You know, I didn't know we were going to do this podcast.
No. Karissa is openly skeptical of doctors and modern medicine. People who have followed her for years say she connects sickness to spiritual causes and treats faith, not treatment, as the real cure. She has given birth at home. She has skipped tests that doctors consider standard. In her world, a risk is never just a risk. It is a test of faith. And every time things work out, it becomes proof that she was right. The internet calls this dangerous. Karissa calls it obedience. And this is not just talk. In early 2025, Karissa got so sick that she finally went to the emergency room. The snark pages noticed something chilling about how she shared it. Even from a hospital, the framing was faith first, medicine last. The ER was the backup plan. God was the treatment. Followers begged her to take her health seriously, because to them, the message her audience was receiving was simple and terrifying. If you pray hard enough, you don't really need a doctor. And remember, she's not only risking her own health with that message. She's been pregnant through her late 30s and into her 40s, giving birth at home and building content around trusting God over hospitals.
I surrender. It's me laying it at his feet and saying, I surrender this. I trust you. I'm putting all of my eggs in your basket. And then he takes your eggs and he makes scrambled eggs with them.
Medical professionals in her comments have called that content genuinely harmful because young religious women look at their healthy 11 children and think, see, it works. What they do not see is survivorship bias. They do not see the women who tried the same thing and did not get the happy ending. They just see Karissa smiling, holding another baby, captioning it all as proof. The clearest example came in February 2018, when her 7th child, Answer, was born premature, weighing only 3 pounds.
And I was able to give birth. It was still a very painful birth. She was 3 pounds 2 ounces. The doctor held her up and I took a picture.
Answer spent 40 days in the NICU, and the way Karissa tells this story says everything about how her mind works. She says that as she was leaving the hospital heartbroken, she heard the Holy Spirit tell her 40 days in the NICU. On day 37, the doctor said it would be a few more weeks, but on day 40, exactly as she says God promised, Answer came home.
I just was asking God, do I not hear your voice? Like, I know you gave me the number 40, and he literally said, it wasn't 40 weeks, it's 40 days. And I'm like, 40 days in the NICU? The doctor just told me it'll be minimum like 115 days. The doctor was on call that night and he came over to us and I was like, she gets to come home in 4 days. And the doctor said, she actually isn't doing the things we need her to do. Like, she is not taking a bottle like we thought she would. And she's had some hiccups. And he said, it's going to be a few more weeks. And I looked at my husband, complete devastation. Baby is ready to go home. Now, because it was midnight, this was day 39. They said she can go home tomorrow. You just have to stay. Like, I had to stay a night with her and watch a CPR video. And then she literally went home on day 40. I'm not joking, guys. She went home on day
For Karissa, this was not a coincidence. It was a prophecy fulfilled, and it became content. The story's been retold on her accounts for years, polished into a perfect testimony. A tiny baby in an incubator became evidence that Karissa hears directly from God. And here's the question that matters. If you believe God talks to you directly, why would you ever listen to a doctor again? Remember that question, because it's about to matter in the worst possible way. But before we get there, we need to talk about one of her first big scandals. Karissa Collins is a black man. Karissa is white. Their 11 children are biracial. And in 2020, the internet started noticing something strange in Karissa's photos. Followers accused her of editing her children's skin to look lighter. Side-by-side comparisons spread across Reddit and Twitter. Candid shots of the kids next to Karissa's filtered posts where the same children looked paler. The accusations got loud enough that Karissa posted a long video trying to debunk what she called the myths about her family, and her answer to the Photoshop claims became infamous. She said she married a black man because she likes his skin color. She added that she uses tanning beds and sits in the sun every day, so clearly she prefers darker skin. That was her defense against being accused of lightening her own children. The video did not calm anyone down. It poured gasoline on the fire, and it planted a question that has followed her ever since. If she edits how her children look, what else about this family's edited for the camera? By this point, the snark communities were documenting everything. Every deleted post got screenshotted before it disappeared. Every claim got fact-checked against her old videos. Threads titled "Never Beating the Strange Allegations" collected her weirdest moments, side by side like evidence files. Karissa had created a strange new dynamic. Her biggest haters had become her most careful historians. Nothing she posted could ever truly be deleted again, and the deeper those communities dug, the more the concern shifted away from Karissa herself and onto the 11 people in her videos who never chose any of this. Now let's talk about the children themselves, because behind every viral video there are 11 kids living inside a content machine. All of them are homeschooled. Their education, their friendships, their entire world runs through that house. Viewers have watched the oldest daughters grow into what commenters call second moms, cooking for the family, carrying babies on their hips, calming toddlers in the background of live streams. There are clips on TikTok where followers point out that one daughter is basically this second mom raising the other kids. Child development experts have a word for this: parentification. When a child gets pushed into a parent's role before they're ready for it. And there's another layer. These kids have no privacy. Their first steps, their meltdowns, their sick days, their most embarrassing moments are all online forever. They never agreed to this. They were born into it. Reddit threads filled up with screenshots of moments where the children looked scared, exhausted, or simply done. One post was literally titled, "The fear in Karissa's child's face haunts me," Strangers on the internet were watching these kids more closely than almost anyone in their online life because there barely is an offline life. And make no mistake, this is a business. The Collins brand runs across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook with millions of followers combined. Sponsored posts, monetized videos, affiliate links, commentary creators have gone even further, with one viral TikTok series literally titled Exposing Karissa Collins, the Collins Kids Cult, Spiritual Abuse and a Profit-Driven MLM Behind 12 Kids. Now, to be clear, those are accusations from critics, not court findings. But here's the part nobody disputes. The children are the product. Every thumbnail is their faces. Every viral moment is their lives. 11 kids generate the views generate the money, and the money flows to the adults pointing the camera. When a family's income depends on its children being watchable, every parenting decision quietly becomes a business decision too. Should this meltdown be filmed? Should this hospital visit be posted? Should this pregnancy be a cliffhanger? In a normal family, those questions never come up. In this house, they come up every single day. And feeding all of it was the engine that built the channel in the first place. Pregnancy. Karissa learned early that nothing performs like a baby announcement. Each new pregnancy meant a reveal video, a reaction video, bump updates, a gender reveal, a name reveal, a birth story, and then months of newborn content. One pregnancy could fuel half a year of guaranteed views. Baby number 10, Armor, arrived in February 2023. Baby number 11, Arrow, arrived in 2024 when Karissa was already 40. The announcements got bigger and more produced every time. Then the comment sections turned into battlegrounds, with supporters typing blessings while critics begged her to stop. Here's the thing though, both sides clicked, both sides watched. Both sides made her bigger. By now, the snark communities were not just mocking her anymore. They were genuinely scared for her. Threads on FreeJinger and Reddit read less like gossip and more like a watch party for a disaster. People with medical backgrounds explained over and over what repeated pregnancies after 40 can do to a body. What happens when you skip the standard screenings? What happens when a birth goes wrong at home, far from a hospital? Karissa's answer never changed. God has her. God has the baby. And then in the summer of 2025, the story the internet had been dreading finally arrived, just not in the way anyone expected. In May 2025, Karissa posted the biggest announcement of her career. She gathered all 11 kids around her on camera and started singing her own version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. The caption said she told the kids she was making a music video. Then came the line. This was the story all about how she became a mom of 12 children.
Now, this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became a mom of 12 beautiful children. Children didn't hear me. I said 12 children.
You said 12 children. You guys. Yay! Yay! Mommy's pregnant! Yay! You're pregnant! Mom, I knew it! Mom, you're pregnant! No, Mom, no! Mom, you're gonna have children. Wait, no!
I don't know what I'm gonna have, but yes, I'm pregnant.
Mom! She's pregnant! Give me it. No way! You're pregnant!
Yes, I needed to
I
get
don't
it
know.
out.
I saw your stomach on the
Mom,
I
no.
didn't get that.
I just told you.
You don't look like you're pregnant. You're too skinny.
Come on, baby.
You said you were on your period!
I thought I was. I thought I was. I'm not joking. I thought I
You can tell Dad.
was.
You can tell Dad.
Yeah,
You're pregnant!
The younger kids exploded with joy, screaming, "She's pregnant!" The teenagers did not. One older daughter raised a finger to the sky, looked at her sister, and walked off screen. Karissa slapped a caption over it. "I promise my two cool teenagers are excited. This is how they show emotion." Viewers slowed down the clip, zoomed in on the girls' faces, and saw something that did not look like excitement at all. It looked like dread. The clip exploded far beyond her usual audience. One reaction video alone pulled in over 700,000 likes. For a few days, it was just another viral Collins moment. Then everything fell apart.
And to the mom pregnant with her 12th child, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You can see, even when she announces this in her TikTok video to her 11 kids, the 4 oldest children in the back are visually upset and disappointed. But the mom captions, "That's how my oldest show excitement." Again, that's how they show disappointment. Your oldest daughter, like, essentially rolls her eyes and walks away. grabs a ball, comes back and is like slamming it on the floor, and she goes in the kitchen out of the video. One of the other oldest daughters literally goes, wait, she said 12. She said 12, guys, like she's panicking, okay? Then one of the oldest sons goes like they know they're going to have more responsibilities as children and they're not looking forward to it. And they're probably wondering why you're continually having kids when you already have 11 beautiful children. Okay? There comes a time where enough is enough. Honestly, be so for real.
Days after the announcement, Karissa shared devastating news. She had gone for a scan and there was no heartbeat. The baby had stopped developing at around 7 weeks. It was what doctors called a missed miscarriage, where the pregnancy ends but the body does not let go on its own. In that situation, doctors typically offer medication or a short procedure called a D&C to remove the tissue, because leaving it inside too long risks serious infection, an infection that can turn into sepsis that can kill. Karissa refused all of it. She announced she would wait for her body to handle it naturally on God's timing. And then she kept posting. Day after day, week after week, Karissa filmed normal family content while carrying her deceased baby inside her. Cooking videos, family fun, smiling thumbnails. Viewers watched the weeks tick by in growing horror. Nurses and doctors flooded her comments, begging her to get medical care, spelling out exactly what was at risk. Her response was to talk about faith and trust. The snark pages stopped joking entirely. The conversation shifted to a much darker question. Were they watching a preventable tragedy unfold in real time, documented by the woman it was happening to?
A lot of women have missed miscarriages and blighted ovums where they can go weeks and months still carrying that pregnancy.
To be fair, the internet did not speak with one voice. Some women defended her right to wait. Miscarriage care is deeply personal, and waiting for the body to pass a loss naturally is a real option that doctors do offer in the early weeks, under careful monitoring. Women shared their own loss stories in her comments, some in support, most in alarm, because the issue was never that she grieved differently. The issue was the combination. No monitoring that anyone could see, week after week passing, and a massive public platform broadcasting the choice to impressionable followers as a faith decision rather than a medical one. Through all of it, the content kept coming, as if nothing was happening at all. That was the part people could not process. Grief usually makes people put the camera down. Karissa picked it up. And then came the video that crossed the line for almost everyone. In mid-July, Karissa posted a clip of her younger children gathered around her laughing while they slapped, punched, and headbutted her pregnant belly. The same belly that, by her own announcement, was carrying a baby that had already passed away. The internet did not just criticize this video, it recoiled from it. The clip was duetted, stitched, and reposted everywhere, racking up millions of views. Even longtime fans said they were confused and disturbed. News outlets that had never covered her before suddenly knew her name. Us Weekly covered the backlash. Social workers and parenting writers published pieces using the Collins family as a case study of family vlogging gone wrong. Karissa deleted the pregnancy posts and put out an apology video. She said she never thought of it the way others did, that it was just a cute moment with her children, that she does not do clickbait, does not like controversy, and is only about sharing the message God gave her, which is that women can trust God with their womb. For her critics, the apology made everything worse because it exposed the real problem. Even at the lowest moment of her pregnancy loss, the camera never stopped rolling.
As clickbait. Now, the first thing I want to address is I don't do clickbait. I don't like controversy. I don't post offensive things for followers. I don't want followers like that. I'm not all about a following. I just am simply here to share the message that God has given me and the ministry that I have, which is just encouraging women that you can trust God with your womb, that you can rely on Him to give you His blessings in children, and what I believe the Bible says about that. People find that offensive, dangerous, disgusting, and disturbing, and I don't know why. So let me just quickly address what my theology is, because, I mean, if that's the word you want to use, people are saying my theology is messed up. This is what we believe. We believe that all life is from God.
The weeks kept passing. Around what would have been the 20-week mark, Karissa posted a trigger warning photo of herself, writing that she had turned 20 weeks that week and wanted one last picture before letting go. Followers did the math and felt sick. By her own timeline, she had been carrying a pregnancy that stopped growing at 7 weeks for roughly 3 months. Finally, she confirmed she had accepted a D&C. She would later describe it as a traumatic miscarriage and surgery. The medical emergency the internet had been dreading never fully arrived, and honestly, even her harshest critics were relieved. But the damage to her image was permanent. The woman who built an empire on the idea that God protects her womb had just shown millions of people what that belief looks like when it gets tested. In the weeks after the procedure, Karissa folded the loss into her message. The grief became posts. The posts became part of the ministry, proof that she trusts God even in loss. Supporters found it beautiful, critics found it chilling, and somewhere in the middle, a quieter group of viewers simply felt sad. Watching a woman process a real loss in the only language she seems to have left, public, monetized, on schedule. So after all of that, did anything change? 5 weeks later, Karissa was back on Instagram with a polished video of all 11 kids posed in front of the house, lip-syncing to Taylor Swift, captioned about how her younger self never wanted children. She wrote that she never wanted this life, but that it's a life with no regrets, written by God himself. The algorithm rewarded the comeback. Then in late September, another scare. Baby Arrow, her youngest, ended up in the hospital. Karissa posted the update herself, calling it a rough year. From a traumatic miscarriage and D&C to this. Mondre spent every night at the hospital working his 9-to-5 job from the baby's bedside. Arrow recovered, and within days, Karissa was celebrating his first independent steps on TikTok, framed as a miracle. Notice the pattern here. Every crisis enters the feed, gets wrapped in faith language, and exits as content. A NICU stay becomes a prophecy. A miscarriage becomes a ministry. A hospitalized baby becomes a testimony with hashtags. Nothing in this family is ever just private pain. Everything is material. And what about Mondre? Through all of this, the father of these 11 children remains the quietest man on the internet. He works a regular 9-to-5. He pastors the home church. He appears in the videos, smiles, and says almost nothing. When Arrow was in the hospital, it was Mondre sleeping at the bedside, working his job from a hospital chair. Karissa praised him as the real MVP who carries the family through hard things. But viewers keep asking the same question. Where is his voice in all of this? When his wife carried a lost pregnancy for 3 months against medical warnings, the internet heard nothing from him. When his children's faces were turned into thumbnails, nothing. Supporters call him a steady, humble man of faith. Critics call him a passenger in his own family's story. The truth is, nobody knows. Because in over 15 years of content, the internet has heard endless words from Karissa and almost none from the man standing right next to her. And here's the uncomfortable part. We are all in this video too. Karissa Collins did not grow in a vacuum. The algorithm noticed that her content makes people stop scrolling, whether in love or in horror, and it served her to both crowds. The snark communities that exist to criticize her are also mathematically her biggest promoters. Every duet, every reaction video, every Reddit megathread feeds the exact same machine that pays her. Critics watch to witness, fans watch to support. The platform can't tell the difference, it just counts. And family vlogging itself sits in a legal gray zone.